How's it going, everyone? In today's video, we're going to learn about some sugar syntax that will help us yield values from generators more cleanly. To be more precise, we will be covering the yield from syntax in Python. And even if you might not use it that often, it's definitely worth knowing about. And before we dive into today's video, I'd just like to thank Zed for sponsoring the channel. I've been using the Zed code editor for a while now, and I really enjoy it. If you feel like trying out Zed, I've left a link in the description box down below where you can download it for free. Anyway, let's get back to the video. To get started, we're going to create a couple of generators. First, we will create a generator that yields numbers for the range we specify. Then, we will create another generator that yields strings and integers from our number generator. And the first value we're going to yield is a string. Then we're going to loop through the number generator to yield the numbers from it. And finally, we will yield one more string value. Note how we kind of repeat ourselves here with the logic from the number generator. I mean, the logic over here is practically the same thing that we wrote over here. Of course, we want to be able to use this number generator in many places, but this seems a bit silly. Then just to show you what the generator contains, we will start it and materialize it immediately by converting it into a list. And as soon as we run this, you'll see that it works fine. Everything is fine. But if you want to impress your colleagues, you might want to try the approach that uses the yield from sugar syntax. So let's edit our generator function to include that. Instead of rewriting the exact same logic used to generate numbers, here we can use the yield from syntax to yield from the number generator. And we will generate values up to 3. This is much cleaner than the previous approach, and it doesn't require any logic duplication. We are requesting values directly from that generator now. And if we run this script, you'll notice that everything is still fine. But this time, our colleagues have more respect for us because we used some very clean sugar syntax. I mean, they still hate us because we use Python and aren't miserable as they are in Java. But still. Another great place to use the yield from syntax is with iterators. Here we will create a generator that enumerates all the elements in an iterable and returns them upon request. Instead of creating a loop, we can directly yield from the iterator, and we will make sure that the enumerations start at 1. Then we can start the generator and materialize it once again. And when we run this, what we should get as an output are these pairs. And as a final example, I'll show you how convenient it can be when dealing with recursive functionality. For this example, we will create a list flattener. And for each element in the iterable, we will check whether the element is of type list. If it is, we will continue flattening it using yield from. Otherwise, we will yield the element. We can then create a nested list and try to flatten it. And as an output, we will get our list flattened. I do want to mention that I've been materializing all the generators into lists just for the sake of showing you the contents. I do not recommend materializing generators like this with large amounts of data. Otherwise, you lose the efficiency of the generator. And on another note, if it's your first time seeing the generator type being specified, as you can see right here, I'd recommend watching my video on generators. There, I thoroughly explain what's going on in that type. Otherwise, we've made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Do let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions or suggestions. But otherwise, with all that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.